Welcome to the Team Butterfly Effect All Hands Call. It is officially the first day of March. Happy March, guys. It means like we're about ready to no longer be in like winter is slowly starting to fade out. So the beautiful thing that you're going to start seeing now is like over the next couple weeks and months, people are going to start thinking about putting on bathing suits again. Oh, so it's actually the shit's going to start getting real again. Oh, I'm sorry, baby's in the room. I apologize. I'll do my best to be. I like to cuss. So, and if you haven't already known, 22-minute hardcore was just released. So just a quick summary of what that even is, guys. If you're not aware, go on YouTube and check it out. But it's Tony Horton. He did a national wake-up call yesterday morning. I hope you listened to it because it was so stocked full of information about the program. But here's the bottom line. It is typically made for, it's boot camp style, right? It's not necessarily made just for military people, but it is done in that sort of energy. So it goes to a cadence. Whenever I was at New Leader Conference, we did it with Tony. And I have to admit, like, I thought I was going to hate the program. And because I'm not a boot camp style girl, you know, I like to shake my booty and do some yoga. And so this was not something I was looking forward to doing. However, the moves were not complicated. They were like traditional moves, but because they're done to the cadence, you're trying to keep up to the beat the whole time. So it makes it a little bit of a personal challenge to be able to keep up. And so I found myself that like the time just flew by because you went through an entire series doing a certain set of sets and reps, and the next time you did the same thing, but it got less. So I can't tell you that I'm ordering the program tomorrow and that I'm going to do it next month. I am about officially done with hammer and chisel. I have 2 weeks left. I believe I literally have 12 workouts left. And then I'm going to spend a month doing bod, yoga, booty, ballet, just to have some fun for a month before I go to 22-minute hardcore. However, remember that starting a new program is always a great way to drive your business. So, you know, I see some new faces on with Team Distilled and with other teams. So it's always fun to even get your organization to do something together if it's something you feel inspired to do, just because it's more fun when we do it together. A couple other pieces of news just to share. FYI, the Success Club trip for 2015 is not next week, but the week after that. And Jill Eptoski will be representing us on that trip. I'm so excited for her to go on her first Success Club trip and to come back and report back to all of us about how amazing it was and how she got to like work out with Tony and maybe get some pictures with him and stuff. So she will hopefully come back and have a lot to share with us after that trip. I would be on it, but it's spring break the same week for my kids, and we opted to spend it with my kids instead of going on that trip this year. And then last piece of news is that I'd like to share is Super Saturday or Super Sunday is the first weekend of April. So I haven't studied my calendar yet. Here, I'll just pull it up real quick. Let me just look while we're all right here together. And yeah, that's what I was afraid of. We will not have an all hands call again until after Super Saturday or Super Sunday. So I wanted to share it with you now. So if you are on this call right now and you are a new coach, let me just share with you, you need to be there. I want you to pull out your calendar right now, and I want you to look to see if you have anything going on the first weekend of April, either April 1st, 2nd, or 3rd. And if you do not, mark it off. And I'm going to take Tara off mute for just a second. Hey, Tara, remind me, is our Dallas Super, is it on Sunday or is it on Saturday? Do you remember?
Yeah, it's on Sunday.
It's on Sunday. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. So for those of us in DFW, it will be on April 3rd, and it's usually right after lunchtime. So for those of you in DFW, if you could schedule that off April 3rd, plan on going. It's in Frisco. So if you're on the Fort Worth side of town, you can always ride with me if you want to. Otherwise, we'll all meet up there. So if you're not in Dallas, Fort Worth, please, please, please be mindful to either get in contact with your coach or go to FAQs to find out where there's a Super Saturday or Super Sunday or Super Friday in your area. Because guys, it's so important to be at these live events. It is at these live events when people have their aha moments and really realize that this is the place for them or it's not the right place for them. And so it's a really great place to go check out the vibe of the entire community and really immerse yourself. So that, and then one last piece of news before we get into the meat of today's call. And if you haven't noticed yet, I've posted in the March training class page and in the Team Butterfly Effect page, the March marketing calendar, marketing plan for all of you. So if you are a new coach, hopefully you're in our new coach training right now as we speak. If you just signed up, I think Jill has somebody new she was going to add into the group maybe tomorrow or tonight who just got signed up. And every call for the organization is listed on that calendar. So the main thing I'm just wanting to share with you guys, if you haven't seen it yet, there are 5 Tuesdays in the month of March. So what that means is I have decided that the last Tuesday, we are going to use that as a new coach call. So if you have a coach in the new coach training, you're welcome to be on the call, especially if your coach is going to be there. If you are a new coach in the new coach training class, try to be there because this is literally me. This is a gift. We normally don't have 5 Tuesdays in the month. And so I have just chosen to section it off and give it to our new coaches. So it's really a blessing. This month, the whole team gets my energy one day. The VIPs get my energy one day, which means you're an emerald or above. And the new coaches get my energy. So FYI. So let's get into the meat of today's call. We're 10 minutes in, which means we got 20 minutes left to carry to cover it all. And tonight we're talking about the 3 vital behaviors. So if you're on this call, you're obviously somewhat interested in the business, right? So there are 3 things that you need to do to be successful, period. Whether primarily if you're a coach, but if you do the first 2 as a customer, you'll also be successful. So the first one is be proof the product works. That's number 1. Be proof the product works. So that's pretty self-explanatory, but I want to elaborate. So what does that mean? First of all, you need to be drinking your Shakeology, period. The reason why you need to be drinking your Shakeology every day is it's a testimony right there. It's a testimony for what it's doing in your body. And I don't want anybody in this organization who are salespeople who are going out and just selling to people because people don't want to be sold to. There is a plethora of and an abundance of products out there. What is lacking are people who care, people who want to be tribe leaders, people who want to pay it forward and help. So in order for us to not just be those typical shake people who are just out to look at me, sell our product and post a link, we need to be able to speak with it with integrity of what it's done for our bodies. So you have a testimony of what it's done for you physically. So you need to be drinking your Shakeology so you can speak about that. But it's not about, and I'll share with you guys, for the first probably year of being a coach, that's all I did. I didn't do our home workout programs because I'm a fitness professional, and I always used my classes and my teaching schedule as an excuse as to why I didn't need our programs and need our products. And did I technically need them for my body to be fit? No, I didn't, because when I found Beachbody, I was probably teaching 12 classes a week, and my body really didn't have that much else to give. But What I was doing was not duplicable. I'm going to say that again. It's all about being duplicable in this business. So you are an amazing person, and people are going to come to you because of the person you are and because of the coach you are, but you can only do so much alone. You need to be able to have a team to do it with you. And yes, Kristen or Michael or Amy or Tara or whoever can be an amazing coach without a team. I mean, I'm going to tell you, I I feel like the first couple years of my business, that's really all it was that it was me just going through kind of a cycle of random discount coaches and so on because I was not making myself duplicable. So when someone comes to you and says, what are you doing to get in shape? If you say, well, I'm drinking Shakeology and I'm going to 24-hour fitness and I'm taking Pound one day and I'm taking Body Pump another day and I'm taking Combat another day and I'm taking yoga another day and Pyo another day, like how can you just give that to someone else and someone use that to get in shape too? They're going to be like, oh, how many sets and how many reps and how many hours and how much time, you know? Because that's what people want, is people want a formula to be able to get results. And if you are just kind of doing whatever sounds like fun today, whatever class is being offered at the time slot that day, that's not a formula for you to share with someone. And you've become a professional who's here to help people get results and for people to be healthy. So you need to be able to say, I am drinking Shakeology and I did the 21-day fix. Or I am drinking Shakeology and I'm using the 21-day fix meal plan and I'm doing Pyo, or I'm doing 22-minute hardcore, or I'm doing size, or whatever. Or you can even be doing a hybrid of our programs. So, I mean, you can say I'm doing Beachbody on demand and I'm doing the workout du jour that day, the program du jour. So whatever is popping up, that's still something that someone else can do. Someone else can duplicate that. And the beautiful part about duplication is it gives someone else an equation or a formula to follow to help them get results. And then if you keep passing on that formula, it snowballs, right? So let's talk about that in the means to even your paychecks, right? So if you are just selling Shakeology, say you just became a coach and you have another side business where you help people too, and so you just figure you're just going to kind of sell Shakeology to some people, and that's fine. That is so fine. But you know what? You're going to primarily be a retailer. I mean, you may sign up other coaches who um, end up retailing too and just selling Shakeology, and that's fine. You're going to build volume. You're going to help people. You're going to get a paycheck. But we all know that working out and nutrition is what you need to be successful in fitness. So if you can literally just hand to someone, I'm drinking Shakeology, I'm following this meal plan, I'm doing these workouts, it works. And guess what? If it doesn't work for you, for whatever reason, you get all your money back. So you're able to say that with authority and with integrity because you have proved it with your own body. And what I found really interesting is, I was saying that I wasn't doing our workouts, and you know what happened? When I finally broke down and bought Turbo Fire and started to do Turbo Fire and started to post about Turbo Fire and started to video blog about Turbo Fire, guess what? My business picked up. Imagine that. My business picked up because all of a sudden I had people who didn't want to just come to my class, but people who wanted to drink Shakeology and people who wanted to do Turbo Fire because they heard me talking about Turbo Fire, right? Um, and let's be real. Proof is in the pudding, and it's in those before and after pictures. So that's why I highly encourage anyone who is just starting into this and doing it as a business, like right now, just getting started right now, is the 21-day fix or the 21-day fix extreme, primarily because of those quick before and after pictures, right? I mean, who can't complete something in 21 days? I mean, who can't do it for 21 days? You know, I mean, I know like Kristen, who's on the call right now, she didn't do the 21-day fix. She did PIO, but she committed to the program. And had amazing results. And so when you make a commitment like that, not only does it help you duplicate your team, but having those before and after pictures shows your commitment to your wellness, because people follow and get help from and reach out to people who are proof. When you have those before and after pictures, they know. But when they see people who post on Facebook about random shakes or all this other stuff, but they don't have the proof physically, then it's worked for them, then they're just salespeople. And they're probably going to be gone in a couple months because people don't want to just buy stuff. They want to be involved with people who care. So, okay, proof the product works. Number one. Number two, usually the biggest skipped one. And I'm doing it second because I don't want you to accidentally miss it. And that is commit to personal development. Okay, I'll get to the last one in a second. Most people think, okay, I'm starting a business. I need to work out and I need to get people into my challenge groups, and that's all I really want to do. And you know what? It's those people who go in with that mindset who quit. You know why? Because people tell them no. It's just the reality of our world, right? I mean, not everybody who you want to help is going to be ready to receive your help yet. It's just the fact of the matter. I mean, that was one of the hardest things for me at the beginning of this business, is you love people so much and you want to help people so much, and people say they want to be healthy, but they're not always willing to put down the fork, or not always willing to push play, or not always willing to skip that martini or that last glass of wine or whatever that they need to do to change their life. And so we as coaches can take that very personally and very hard and say, what's wrong with me? Why don't they want to be on my team? Wasn't I a good enough coach? Yes, you were a good enough coach. They just weren't ready yet. Okay. So it's about you becoming the type of person that other people would want to lead, or that other people would want to follow. It's about you becoming the coach you wish you had. It's about you becoming the mentor you wish you had. It's about you becoming the challenger you wish you had. It's about you being able to be the systems person that you wish you had. Basically, guys, you have to commit to being a student of whatever you need in your life. So first and foremost, if you're a new coach, you need to becoming a student. You need to be a student of Beachbody right now. For one, you need to start to learn your products. So that means digging into your back office, into the video library, and starting to watch a couple videos. Getting into your training pages, watching the stuff that we're putting out there for you, the information we're feeding you, so you can learn this business. Second of all, it's not just about growing a business though, guys. So when you're doing personal development, it should be partially business oriented, and it should be partially personal. Meaning, like, I can be an amazing entrepreneur, but who is also a narcissist, and who's also cold-blooded, and who's also, sorry, there's babies in the room. I won't use the word that rhymes with witch that starts with a B or whatever, you know. I mean, you can be all those people, but be an amazing business person. And if you are all those other things and an amazing business person, you're still going to suck as a coach, because people want to be with whole people. People are attracted and want relationships with whole, especially in our business, empathetic people, okay, who they don't feel judged, they feel supported. And so sometimes that means we got to deal with our own crap. We got to deal with our own skeletons in the closet before we can help people with theirs. So at the beginning of your coaching journey, it's very much with dealing with your own crap. Okay, dealing with your own crap. So I'm going to share with you guys some books that have been so huge in my life. And my best suggestion for you guys is, and if we have, well, I don't know if we'll have time, is to reach out to your coach and to ask for suggestions, but also don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. If a book calls out to you, don't overthink it. Start there. So one of my very, very, very first book in Beachbody was The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. And someone asked me last night, is that like a Nerium guy? Because someone was involved with Nerium before, something like that. No, he's like the beginner of self-help, period. Okay, so like Jeff Olson is like the original self-help guru. And so people who are involved in multi-level marketing are very encouraged to do self-help, right? Because it's just kind of a part of making ourselves better. So Jeff Olson was a mentor to Tony Robbins, which I just learned this past week. Personal development. Listening to more Tony Robbins, learned that about him, and also Darren Hardy. So The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy is a great one, which is literally just the compound effect, but more modern terms. So this was the second one. The third one I read, which I highly suggest all of you read if you hate hearing the word no, is a book called Go for No. And I know you're going to think, oh gosh, that's salesy, and I don't want to think about myself as salesy. But what this book did for me so huge was literally made me realize that there were times when I didn't ask people if they wanted to buy Shakeology because I was putting my own fear, like I was projecting my own fear onto them, right? And so we should never assume that what we would say no to, other people would say no to too. It never hurts to ask the question, So this book is all about taking away your fear of hearing no about anything, because it's just a word, right? So that one. Another one that was great was The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. This is more of a spiritual text, but I say the word spiritual, but it's really philosophy for just living life. But it's a great one because, I'll just tell you, the Four Agreements: never take anything personally, be impeccable with your word, always do your best, and what's the other one? Sorry, I've read this book so many times I just lost it. Oh, Jill, what is it? I'm taking you off. What's the last one?
Be impeccable with your word, always do your best. Don't make assumptions.
That's it. Don't make assumptions. Don't assume people are going to say no, right? Don't make assumptions. So it's just it's a philosophical book that just helps you deal with your own crap. Another great one, Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. This is all about organization, right? Many people, when we start becoming an entrepreneur, we're like, how am I going to do it all? Learn about organization. Oh gosh, I have so many more here. Probably one of my favorites is The Charge by Brendan Richard. He's so inspirational. I got more of them here, guys. I have The Willpower Instinct, which is about willpower. I have John C. Maxwell for some leadership books. I have Dave Ramsey for leadership books and entrepreneurial books. Stephen Covey, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So the idea, guys, is become a student of whatever you need more of in your life. And I'm going to tell you the secret sauce. Is as new coaches, you should be committing. There's no right or wrong reading or listening. It doesn't matter. You can listen to an audio, you can read a book. If you're a reader, 10 pages a day minimum. If you're listening to an audio, 15 to 30 minutes a day minimum. Do you know how much personal development I did today, which is average for me? 3 hours. Did 3 hours today. I listened to 2 different conference calls, 1-hour-long conference calls, and while I was cooking dinner, cleaning the house, and doing stuff, taking showers and stuff, I listened to my book, The Year of Yes. I listened to part of that book while I was doing that. So what you hear from people who are higher in the organization, the main difference is not their business activities. The main difference is the amount of personal development that they do. They're developing themselves into more of a leader in which people want to follow. So many people think that that's the one you can skip. It is not the one you can skip. That is the one that determines the basic coaches and emeralds to the elite coaches, is the amount of personal development you're doing. Secret sauce. Okay, last thing, guys, I'll cover in our last 5 minutes is invite. But Carl doesn't just say invite. He says invite, invite, invite. That's like he says invite, invite, invite every time. Why invite, invite, invite? Because it's not just about posting on your page and hoping people will come, okay? That is one of them. That's one of the invites, right? Constantly sharing your journey, and not about, here's my link. Guys, don't post your link on your page. People who just post your link, it's flashing lights. I'm selling, I'm selling, I'm selling, I'm selling. Not I'm helping, okay? So we're always just sharing our journey, sharing a little bit about your workout, sharing a little bit about what the meal plans you're doing, sharing a little bit about how you're shifting and how you're changing and how you're making yourself better. And every once in a while, once or twice a week, a call to action. Join my challenge group. Be on this, you want to be in our free clean eating. Not every day, okay? So that's one is a call to action on your page. Another invite is you can talk to people. It's allowed. You can talk to people out in public, okay? Invite people out in public, people who you're friends with. Invite them to join your accountability groups. Guys, our free clean eating challenge next week is the easiest thing to invite people to. It's free. Invite everybody and your dog that you meet to be a part of this free clean eating group. And it's so easy to invite people to. Literally, guys, the week after our clean eating is spring break. Come on. I mean, and I know, say like Michael, who's on this call, isn't necessarily in the demographic of people right now who are like kids going on spring break, right? But I mean, it's just that the weather's changing, spring is in the air. People are just thinking about getting outside and moving their bodies and doing things more. So talk to people while you're out and about. Invite them to do what you're doing. But then the last thing is guys, and this one cannot be overlooked, and so much it gets overlooked, especially by our newer coaches. You have to private and message people. You have to. You have to. You can't just assume that people are, especially the people who you want to work with. You can't just assume they're going to see a random post on your page and all of a sudden come running. People do business with people who they like. People do business with people who like them, who are interested in them. So how do you invite people personally? You reach out to them. You show them that you care by asking something about their personal life, and then you send them an invite. So just a quick example, if Tara weren't on my team already and I were sending her just a random invite, I would maybe send her a message that said something like this. Hey, Tara, have you been to hot yoga lately? It's like, I totally miss going to hot yoga. I'm so jealous that you have a place that you can go to regularly. Also, I saw you posting a picture of Bella the other day. Is like, how are her athletics going? What athletic event is she participating in right now? Oh, and by the way, I have a free clean eating challenge going on next week where I'm going to be providing menus and recipes and workouts and so on. Would you like me to add you to the group? Could you use some help before spring break? And that's it. So it was me like showing my friend that I cared about them by sending them a private message, but then adding on the invite to the end. I always love it to be doubled, something personal and an invite together. And they have to coincide. Because otherwise, you're a salesperson, you're a salesperson, you're a salesperson. So let me reiterate one more time. 3 vital behaviors of Beachbody. Be proof the product works, drink your Shakeology, do your workouts, follow your workout calendar because it's duplicable, right? It's duplicable. Duplicable. Let me get the term in your head again. Duplicable, right? That's when your team will grow. Second is commit to personal development. At least do the minimum. Make yourself better. And if you come to me and say, Aubrey, my business is not working, something isn't happening, you know the first question I'm going to ask you is, have you been doing your personal development? That's going to be the very first question I ask you. Always. That will be the first question I ask you. Third, invite, invite, invite. And Carl said at New Leader Conference, there's going to be a fourth this next year, and I'll just go and share it with you now. Recognition. Recognize people for their accomplishments. Because you know what? In corporate America, people don't get that. People don't get attaboys all the time. People don't get pats on the back all the time and say, people don't, in their regular life, don't have someone who's coming up and say, I see you. You're doing amazing. I'm proud of you. Keep it up. And that's what we as coaches, I just got chills saying it. That's what we as coaches, that's when we really change people's lives, is when they feel like there's someone out there who believes in them. Because there's going to be a lot of people who start on this journey with you who their spouse doesn't even believe they can do it. I mean, how many people, there are people on this call right now who believed in themselves before their spouses believed they could. I mean, I was one. My husband's always believed in my ability to do things, but he didn't necessarily believe in my ability to be an elite coach. He does now, but he didn't 4 years ago. So you have to be that person who believes in someone else before they believe in themselves and encourage them to do it in whatever way, shape, or form. Because when you recognize someone, it just gives them that extra little spark to keep going. So commit to the 3 vital behaviors. Also commit to recognizing people as you see them doing awesome. And guess what? The butterfly effect spreads. The butterfly effect continues. We keep changing the world one family at a time, one person at a time, one workout at a time, because we're showing how much we freaking care. I love you guys. Have a great week. Go to bed, get up in the morning, get your workouts in, drink your shakes, plug into your groups, and be the change you want to see in the world. Until next time. Mwah.